Hey guys and girls, how's it going? Hope you guys had a great week. So E3 is almost here. It is so close, guys. Just a few more days. So I'm back today with another conference prediction. This one today, guys, is going to be on Microsoft's conference. So I have my notes ready. I've made lots of notes, as you can see, and I'm going to talk today in this video generally about what we can sort of expect from Microsoft conference, what we might see and what I'd like to see. So Microsoft are doing things a little bit differently this year. They're actually going to be at the Microsoft Theatre in LA, opposite the LA Convention Center. So they're going to do their own thing. Now, Mike Nichols, the Microsoft executive, has said, this is an exact quote, that this year's E3, it'll be the company's biggest show yet. So we can expect something, hopefully, pretty amazing from Microsoft. Now, Microsoft had a pretty good conference last year, in my opinion. There were lots of games there, but I think this year Microsoft really need to knock it out of the park. Basically, they're struggling behind the Nintendo Switch and also the PlayStation 4. Sony are still outselling them in terms of consoles, and obviously Sony's had a very good 2 years with some very good exclusives. The success last year of Horizon Zero Dawn, and of course God of War this year, and also Detroit Become Human. And then the Nintendo Switch last year had a great year with a Game of the Year title, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, of course Mario Odyssey as well. So Microsoft really need to bring their A game this year, and they really need to show a lot of very good exclusives. So I hope they do well. I am going to keep my fingers crossed and hope for something truly spectacular at their conference. Now, Microsoft are keeping their cards very close to their chest. They're not giving anything away. Sony have already announced the main games that they're going to be covering, and Nintendo have been dropping hints as well. But Microsoft are keeping stum. They're not giving anything away. So you can imagine that they're probably going to go for a lot of wow factor in their conference, and maybe they have some really cool exclusives planned. So what can we expect at Microsoft's conference? Well, I think it's a safe bet to assume that Crackdown 3 is going to be at Microsoft's conference. Now, that is set for release in 2018. That is the last information that we got from Microsoft. We've seen mostly cinematic trailers. We have seen some gameplay actually, sort of behind closed door gameplay that's been released, but we haven't seen much of the multiplayer. So I think we are due to see a lot more in terms of Crackdown 3, particularly in the multiplayer elements of it. Will we see a battle royale in Crackdown 3? That is the way things are going, and I would not be surprised if Microsoft do announce a battle royale in Crackdown 3 to take advantage of all that multiplayer power, the mass destruction that you can cause, and you know, to sort of ride the coattails of like Fortnite and PUBG and the success that those games have produced as well in the last sort of 12 months. There's been a lot of rumors circulating about Crackdown 3. I think it was on the Amazon Spain store. A lot of people's pre-orders were actually cancelled, and the release date on there was actually changed to, I think it was the 31st of December 2019. So there have been a lot of rumors circulating that either Crackdown 3 is going to be delayed yet again to 2019, or that the game potentially has been cancelled, obviously after previous titles like Scalebound have been cancelled. I don't think Crackdown 3 is cancelled. I think if Microsoft revealed that Crackdown 3 was cancelled and it was one of their major exclusives, the backlash against Microsoft would be absolutely huge. It would be a massive mistake for Microsoft to do that. So I don't think it's cancelled. The only thing I think potentially might be happening is a delay into 2019. Personally, I think that would be a mistake. Of course, I do want the developer to have more time for development, but this game has already been delayed quite a few times. And if it gets delayed again, I think a lot of people are going to start to worry about the quality of Crackdown Crackdown 3 and whether or not we're ever actually going to get to see that game. So Crackdown 3, I think, is definitely going to be at Microsoft's conference. I think we are going to get a few announcements in terms of exclusives. I'm quite confident that we're going to hear about a Halo 6. It's been about 3 years since Halo 5 Guardians came out, and Halo tends to have like a 3-year development. I think Halo 4 came out 3 years before Halo 5 Guardians. So we are due to hear about a Halo 6. If it is a 3-year cycle, then maybe we could expect to see that game in fall this year. Halo 5 Guardians had a lot of mixed responses to it. I think the multiplayer was incredibly successful, and a lot of people really praised the multiplayer in Halo 5 Guardians for the sort of what was done with that and how fun it was. But there was a lot of criticism to do with the single player campaign, and that it was a little bit disappointing, and there wasn't really this kind of resolution at the end of it. So Halo 6 definitely is due, and I think I would not be surprised if Microsoft announced that this year. I think we're also going to hear about a new Gears of War game as well. Gears of War is a big contender for Microsoft. It is one of their big exclusive titles. It is a system seller, so I think I would not be surprised if we hear about a new Gears of War game. It's been 2 years since the last Gears of War, so I think it's a little bit too early to release it this year, but maybe they'll reveal some kind of cinematic trailer just to let people know that it is coming, that it is obviously in development. We're obviously going to hear about the next Forza title. It's probably going to be Horizon 4, most likely, and we're probably going to have like this car on stage or something like that and showing it off. I don't really have too much interest in Forza Horizon, but if you're into racing games and you're into those kind of games, then probably Forza is going to play at some part of the conference as well. We haven't heard anything about Ori and the Will of the Wisps since the last time we saw anything, which I think was last year. We saw a trailer for that. So we are due to see some. Maybe we'll see some gameplay. Maybe we'll get a release date. That would be really good. And I think, you know, Ori and the Blind Forest was such a beautiful game, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing more about Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And I hope it's got a release date this year. If not this year, then hopefully the beginning of next year. I think as well, it's also a good bet that we're going to get to see more on Anthem. Last year we got to see a gameplay trailer which was showcased at Microsoft's conference, and EA instead showed a cinematic trailer. Maybe we'll get the same this year, and we'll actually get to see some actual concrete gameplay at Microsoft's conference. I think that would be a steal for Microsoft if they have that, because I know a lot of people are interested in Anthem and are wanting to see more, and that's going to encourage more people to watch their conference because they're hoping to see some footage, hoping to find out more information. And we know that BioWare do have a very close, good relationship with Microsoft, so it is likely that they're going to be there. We do know that Anthem is going to play quite a large role at this year's E3, and we're going to see a lot, and it's going to have quite a large presence. Those are the things that I think are very, very likely to see at Microsoft's conference. What are some other things that we might see but maybe are a little bit less likely? We might potentially see something from CD Projekt Red at Microsoft's conference. CD Projekt Red have confirmed they are going to be there with their latest RPG. Of course, we know that that is Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red have used Microsoft before to promote their games. They used it for Gwent, so it is a possibility that they might showcase something to do with Cyberpunk on Microsoft stage. It is very likely that they might do that, and it is definitely a possibility. As well, maybe we'll hear something from Platinum Games. Now, Phil Spencer has said that one of the things that Microsoft have really struggled with in the last few years is representing Japanese game developers, and that is something that he's wanting to rectify at this year's E3. Now, obviously, they've not had a great track record in terms of Platinum Games when they cancelled Scalebound, which many people, including myself, was disappointed about. So maybe we'll see either something from Platinum Games or something from another game developer. Maybe we'll see some info about Code Vein. Maybe it'll be a completely new IP. But I think we could expect some kind of Japanese developer presence at Microsoft's conference, absolutely. Also, I think it's likely that we're going to have some kind of Shadow of the Tomb Raider presence at Microsoft's conference. Microsoft obviously had exclusive rights to Rise of the Tomb Raider for 12 months, so they have quite a close relationship with Square Enix, and I think it's more likely that it's going to be at Microsoft's conference that we actually get to see more information about that game, which is set to be released in September. So it's very likely that we'll see quite a long, lengthy, hopefully lengthy gameplay section at Microsoft's conference. And I think if Microsoft lose that kind of right to present that at their conference, it's going to be quite a big blow to them. Of course, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is going to be available cross-platform. It is going to be available on PS4, Xbox One and PC, but I'm sure Microsoft are going to want the opportunity to showcase it on their conference and to encourage people to buy it on the Xbox One X, most likely. But yeah, I think we're probably going to see that at their conference as well. There have been rumors that Microsoft are working on another Fable game. Now, that's kind of in contradiction to the fact that they closed down Lionhead Studios, which were the team behind the original Fable titles. But they've kind of changed their mind and decided to bring back Fable. It's not going to be Lionhead Studios working on it, because obviously that studio is closed. It's going to be another team. We don't know very much about it, but there are rumors that it is in the works and that they are looking to bring out another Fable title. So maybe we'll hear something about that as well. And there are also rumors that we're going to hear something about a live streaming service on the Xbox One, where you'll be able to sort of stream games a little bit like Netflix, where you'll pay a subscription and have access to a library of games to stream. This is a rumor, and I don't really see if there's much point for it, because obviously we've got the Xbox Games Pass at the moment, a game where people pay a monthly subscription and have access to quite an extensive library. I think if anything, it's more likely that Microsoft are going to be promoting that service a little bit more, especially with the fact that it gives access to a lot of games. They might talk about early access as well, to try to cover more, to try to encourage more people to sort of pick up that subscription, because obviously they're wanting to go the way of games as a live service. So maybe they'll try and promote that as well. Microsoft always promotes some kind of new app on their console that you can use, so there's going to be something new in terms of software on the Xbox One that you can use. So I guess it remains to be seen what that actually is. So those are some of my expectations of Microsoft's conference, some of the things that I anticipate we will see, and some of the guesses as well that I have too. But what do I want to see at Microsoft's conference? I want to see something new. I want to see what exclusives Microsoft have. I'd like to see, of course, them continue to support indie developers. I think that's really awesome. And of course, Cuphead did so well, was such a good game. So yeah, I'd like to see more. I want them to continue to support indie developers, but I also want to see what big titles are available exclusively on the Xbox. And I think they need to sort of really show that at this year's conference. Of course, Halo and Gears are always big, but they need to start creating some new IPs as well, and not relying too heavily on old, tried and tested series as well, because obviously Sony are doing a very good job of bringing out brand new IPs on a regular basis, and Microsoft need to do the same. So I hope Microsoft will have a good year this year at E3. I'm optimistic. I think they're going to bring it. I think they're going to have to bring it. They've got no choice but to do that this year. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what Microsoft bring to the table. I'm super excited. Are you excited? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you expect at this year's Microsoft conference? What do you think we're going to see? And what do you hope we will see? Let me know in the comment section below. Hope you guys are having a great week. E3 is almost here, guys. Really excited. Cannot wait. I'm going to bring you lots of coverage all this week on E3. So look forward to that. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great week. Take care. And as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.